Flagwave Studios, a Pat's Rocklight Productions presents Byconan Philosophies and Theories. Warning: some of these theories may not be fact-checked, or may be based on science fiction, unless otherwise posted, so some episodes may contain science and facts and total truths. Some may be made up, so viewer discretion is advised. Byconan Philosophies and Theories, Season 1, Episode 3, Part 5, A True Democracy. This series may be in several parts. Welcome to another episode of Byconan Philosophies and Theories, Season 1, Episode 3, Part 5. We're going to start where we left off last time. I'm sorry. Okay. National. This is the final government that listens to the decisions of the majority of the quadrants and can overthrow any government, association, corporation, whatever have you. There is 5 government offices at this level, elected every 4 years and only allowed 2 terms. Only a majority of quadrants can overthrow these levels of government. The majority of the people within the quadrant, the people always have control. Okay. Number 1. There is a different name that I had created for this label. I didn't really much care for this label. It just sounded cool to me when I made this thing. I called it a Supremer or Supremus. But I came up with other names. You can call it a prime facet. You can call it a omega. You can call it a Mons Doleti. It's basically a material that's harder than a diamond. Or you can call it lambda. That's the Greek letters for each of the ones that I created. You can call him High President. You can call him... I don't really much care for Prime Minister, because to me that sounds too religious. So, you can call him Prime Minister. Any office that's higher than the President. He is the highest government office. Nothing is higher except the majority of the people, or majority of the cabinet. Also elected by the people, can overthrow any levels of government offices, has the right to challenge said overthrowment, but it has the right to challenge it. But if true government offices can be overthrown if fake or media made up by any government office or cabinet, or truth not given to the people or lower levels, to the people at the lower levels, then they are automatically overthrown by the power of this high office. Also, main leader of a nation. Okay. Better known as Diamond Cabinet. These are the final 5 levels of government represented on the flag as a 5-point star, and are final lawmakers and decision makers in the National Diamond Senate chain of command. It's saying, we're going to post the pictures right here. Chain of command shown in number 1, and seating of main government shown in this one. Okay, on the first one, you'll see that the symbols are different. Obviously, we created different symbols for different offices of the higher offices, because we just thought it was easier that way. Hang on just one second here. I'm just looking something up here. Okay. Okay, the office of the Suprema, you'll see here, is represented by what kind of looks like a black bird. This is actually a black hawk. This represents the high office of this nation. The next one you will see here, which is the next level down, is the office of the president. Now you'll see in this one it also kind of looks like a bird. This is represented by an eagle, obviously. You'll see the two five-pointed stars in the office of the president. The vice president, you will see this brown bird kind of thing. This is just a regular, just hawk. We just wanted just a regular hawk for this one. The Attorney General, you'll see here, it is kind of large. It has two lightning bolts above its head. That represents the power of the military. And this is the Attorney General's. The bird that's supposed to represent it is a bird of prey. It could be any bird of prey, anything. And then the messenger obviously has that little scroll. It has two olive branches, and it is smaller, white, with a white background. This bird is supposed to represent a dove. For obvious reasons, for peace, whatever have you. Okay. The way it works as the Diamond Senate is the Suprema is the highest leader. And, each level reports to him. That's why it's called the Diamond Cabinet. The Vice President reports to him, the President reports to him, the Attorney General reports to him, and the Messenger all report to him to let him know that, hey, either something's not right here or whatever have you. Okay, and then this is the main government seating right here. This is going to show you, obviously, the four quadrants are going to get together, and they're going to pick their 13 people at random, and they will place them within their jury boxes. Now, each jury boxes will have their representatives, their diamond guards, as well as the nation or the main levels. The main levels are going to have the 5 levels of government in the center, and then you'll have a debate floor and displays and everything else of that nature to show the people that everything is doing right per the laws of this true democracy. Okay, let's see here. Give me a second here. Sorry. Okay. Number 2, President. Reports to Suprema. Now is where associations, corporations, whatever have you, are controlled at these levels of government. Associations under the president, also elected every 2 years and only have 2 terms. Okay. The president has two associations under his control, main associations under his control. The first one is the Senate Association of the Nation. He or she makes sure that all levels of the Diamond Senates are working properly and listening to the people and giving people facts and truths. Number 2, people over the government of the nation. Groups and associations, militants that assure that the nation or higher government offices are listening and giving facts and truths to the people. Okay? And those are the two associations under control of the president of the nation. Okay. And now we're back to the 5 levels of government now. Number 3, Vice President reports to Suprema and is in charge of the nation's wealth associations. The people in charge of the associations are also elected every 2 years, only have 2 terms, also are in charge of businesses, corporations, whatever have you. Okay. The associations under control of the Vice President of the nations are number 1, Department of Commerce. It is the main financial system of the nation. Gives money to other essential associations like emergency services, militaries, whatever have you. No large amount of money is given to just one association. It is distributed equally, and if not done so, be overthrown by the people or by the government of the nation. You can't give money to, a majority of the money to the army. You must distribute the GPD, I think that's what it's called, or whatever have you, to all. You gotta distribute it to all the, associations, everything equally. That's under controls of, all the levels of government. The vice president, can't just give money to, other levels. He has to give. Also, he has to first divide it up, among his, the tiers. He, like if, obviously if, let's say the nation makes, $1 billion, well then you gotta distribute it equally among the, 4 sections of the main government. Because the Suprema doesn't really have anything underneath him. So he gets actually paid last after all the associations and everything's been done, taken care of. The Suprema gets paid very last. So then what happens is they distribute all the money equally. So if you have $1 trillion, obviously you're going to split that. You're going to say, okay, well, you get $250 billion. You get $250 billion. You get $250 billion. You get $250 billion to distribute it equally, and you have to report back to the vice president. The vice president also keeps books of this. I gave the president $250 billion. I gave, so and so $250 billion. And then they're supposed to report what they gave their associations. The president gave, he distributed equally amongst his associations. So he gave, I don't know, $100 and some odd billion to something. Let me make sure. So he gave $125 billion to one of his associations. He gave $125 billion to another association. Other levels might have more. Obviously, such as the vice president, he will have more, so he's got to distribute it, more, his $250 billion equally within within his cabinet, or his under cabinet. Okay. Under the Department of Commerce is an association called the Wall Street Association. It would be under this department, the Department of Commerce. Okay. The second one would be the Associated Businesses. Association of Businesses, Corporations, Associations, Unions, Small Businesses, and such forth. Also elected and have authority to overthrow them, but can be overthrown by the people or by the government or by the corporations or whatever have you. Under him is an association called the Association of Unions, which watches over unions, makes sure the unions listen to the people, and the union therefore listen to the people. Example is Auto Workers of America. All auto companies must comply or be overthrown. Okay? Okay. Back to the Diamond Cabinet. Okay. Number 4, Attorney General. One in charge of military, justice, and services associations in the nation. Has many associations under this watch. So the Attorney General may ask the people to elect assistant Attorney Generals or secretaries to help aid the office. So the Attorney General may have several different levels of association on his level. So therefore he may ask for assistant attorney generals under his level. Okay. Shown before. Okay. Associations under the control of the Attorney General are: number 1, Diamond Guard. Like a police for government, make sure that the members of government don't meet privately without the people. Makes sure there is no corruption, bribery, or threats to any government official, and the same is for the people as well. I mentioned this in, I think it was the first or second one of this series. So we've already talked about it a little bit. Also is the Justice Department only former government officials who have not been overthrown. That means any government official who has not been overthrown at any levels of government can serve in the Diamond Guard. They are the enforcers in each level of the Diamond Senate, and the people overthrow the government of the nation, and each labor union, police, and justice departments, associations under this association, and like internal affairs for them, assure that police and justice is listening to the people or the juries. Okay. We're going to stop right there. And always, together, we can change humankind and improve ourselves. Please like, questions, comments below. Thank you.